It's really not about the eggs. It's about now you're caught up in what we call a reenactment in my field.
Mhm.
So in other words, something's getting played out between the two of you. And what the if you could step back, and I think you can because you're here with me, obviously
Right.
curious about this, then you just need to think about what is this dynamic? Or what's the real question here? Or what is she really looking for? If that makes sense. I don't know, please. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it does. I don't listen. I don't have the education that psychiatrists do or
Mm.
psychoanalysts and stuff like this. So I'm limited to where I can go. But I also have my personal feelings. Like,
Yes.
you can only do so much before you have to say, okay, I need another avenue because this isn't
Yeah.
working. That's not working.
Wait, and let me just tell you, that's a great place for you to be, believe it or not. Now, on the surface, it seems like, oh, Jim's just getting frustrated, right?
Hmm.
But, Jim, if you could say, I'm frustrated, and you can own that, which is wonderful, because now it leads you to say, you could do a couple of things with it. One is you could be like, I'm frustrated, so F her, I'm done with
Hmm.
this, right? Which is an
Hmm.
option, by the way.
Hmm.
Or you could say, what? So I need to change, or something needs to change here. And it's not going to be her, at least not initially.
Hmm.
Why? Because
Right.
she's not sitting here with us. She's not interested in doing this, right?
Well, part of this podcast of yours, which I really hit home to me, was
Hmm.
how the helper becomes the helpless.
Yes.
And in this scenario,
Wait, Jim, hold on. What happened? Just tell us quickly. What happened there? What went through your mind that got you emotional? Was it about that feeling that you were just about to describe? About feeling helpless?
it's part of the helpless feeling, but it's more about where I think she's taking herself.
Mm.
And because she's not asking for help, she's
Yeah.
struggling and she knows it. For me to sit back and let her make her mistakes, especially since she's not asking for help,
Yes.
it kills me. I know they have to, ride their bike, fall off their bike, get back on. But her therapists, and there's a lot of the stuff you had mentioned, for me to sit back as a father, a loving father, and watch her, what I feel is destroy.
I could
I think
tell just from your emotion that you're in a very different place.
because I'm so caught up in the decisions that she's making, which I,
Yes.
I believe are so wrong
Yeah,
for
wait,
her.
Jim, wait. Hold on. Because again, you say things that are so important and we want to dwell on them, okay? So you just said, I'm so caught up in her decisions, right? That you feel are so wrong.
Right?
And that's it. Right there, this is sort of at the essence of what's going on. Remember a couple moments ago, I mentioned that a dynamic gets played out between the two of you. Remember we were saying that before, right? Where you really want to do your best. Like you love your daughter and you really want to do your best. But then you get caught up in this dynamic. And this is it right here, what you just said. Right? Do you see what I'm getting at? Is that you really want to be there and it feels to you, and I know you're going to point to objective reality here, but it feels to you like she's making the wrong decisions and you know the right decisions for her to make, if that makes sense.
It does. And I can hear that. I can hear that. But
Hmm.
what I get frustrated with, how much damage she's going to do to herself till she figures out the right path for her, which, of course, I think is the right path from her.
That's right. That's the key.
And I know
That's
that.
the key. Yes.
But I do see her suffering. It's not like she's coming to me saying, "Oh, I love my life. My life is great. I know I dropped out of college. I know I don't have a job. I know I'm with an abusive boyfriend."